So welcome everybody. It's a great to have you part of today. Elite Mastermind. It's a session where I bring on some of our top level guests and ask them questions that helps you in your business as an entrepreneur in the real estate space. Now, for me, I see four different types or four levels of agents within EXP. And I know most people look at me and they say, Stuart, that's quite strange because I only know of maybe one and possibly two. So let me actually expand on it so that you can actually understand and appreciate exactly the levels that I actually recognize with a particular agent within the EXP platform. So the very first level is when an agent joins EXP, I recognize them and I really embrace them to come across, because one of the big things is when we start to recognize you as an EXP agent, you're actually part of not just the South African family, but you're part of a global audience of agents. So nearly 90,000 agents. And just that recognition is really, hey, wearing that badge of honor. We then move on to a level 2 of recognition. And a level 2 agent of recognition is an agent that's actually done a transaction. And why is that so important? Well, for me, I recognize that because that is how you start to live a life by design. You start to earn commission. So that recognition is so, so important. And one thing that we do at EXP is we recognize every single agent that does a deal in a transaction with us. And that actually goes across the globe. So it is a absolute important part. So that's a level 2 of recognition. A level 3 of recognition is when an agent is in a level of high production and they become a cap agent. Now you might be asking, cap, I've heard this term, but what is it? Well, a cap agent is an agent that actually earns the right to earn 100% commission less that 4% mandatory transactional fee. So they're netting out 96% commission. Now, how do you become a cap agent? Well, throughout your transaction period, you've actually got a split. A 75% goes through to yourself and a 25% goes through to the actual company. Now that 25% goes into a pot. And once that pot hits 150,000 Rand, you become a cap agent. So it's something that's extremely important in the way it can actually grow with agents. And then we get to a level 4 recognition. Now, level 4 recognition is really a recognition of the highest of the highest. This is an agent or an agents that when they achieve it, get the true icon status within EXP. To become an icon status, it's 35 or more transactions or a 3 million Rand gross commission in your anniversary year. And then you become an icon agent. Now, we are privileged to have 2 icon agents within South Africa that have achieved that recognition, and we're looking forward to so many more that come through. Now, what do you get as an icon agent? Well, I just said as a cap agent, there's that 150,000 Rand that will go through into that particular pot. Well, as an icon agent, you actually get 150,000 Rand, and it's broken down into parts of shares, EXPI shares back to you. So ultimately, you earn more than 100% commission because you're getting it all straight back to yourself. With growth and all of that, it's an amazing achievement. So the 4 levels that we actually foresee, that I see, is 1, when you join, 2, when you do a transaction, 3, when you become a cap agent, and 4, when you become an icon agent. And this is one of those achievements that each and every one of you can do in your business. But how do we get there? How do we get to these high levels of recognition? Well, that's where Elite Masterminds has actually been formed. We actually spend time talking with our elite, our agents that are actually performing at the highest possible level in their particular business. And in each one of our sessions, we pick on a very specific topic that has been asked by so many agents. And these particular topics really starts to help you to go, oh, so that's how they do it. And that's the learning of the skill to go forward. So joining me today is Eugene. So Eugene, how are you doing today? And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Stuart. Thanks. I'm doing well. Hello, everybody. Everything is going great.
Fantastic. So Eugene, give us a bit of an overview. How long have you been in real estate? How long have you been with EXP? And through your career, give us some little highlights, something that really stood out for you that went, you know what, I'd love to share this.
Well, yeah, I started 5 years ago, fresh, a candidate, did all the necessary things, became a full status agent, and then this is my second year. 2 years, almost 2 years ago, I joined EXP. And yeah, I think the highlight for me would be is to have the tools available that I do now, and to build a team. That was always my dream when I went into real estate. So I want to start my own company. And I think EXP Realty has given me that platform to do that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I like the way that you brought in the tools, because one of the big things as a coach is I share with my clients, nobody succeeds alone. Now, by saying that, you enlist the support of two types of areas. First is people. You enlist the support of people, friends, family, coaches, colleagues, and the people that circle around you. So with you, there'll also be the expansion into a team that will support your particular growth. But the second element is tools. And I'm glad that you added that, because tools is such an important leveraging aspect of your business in order for you to actually grow. So, Eugene, give us a little bit of a high level. What type of tools have you used as a solo agent so far to keep your business going and growing?
Well, firstly, if I must say, is that and I started by understanding all the tools available to me and making sure that for the monthly fee we pay, that I get value out of everything. So, but I think I should start at the basics when it comes to tools, and it's tools like your common diary, how to use that properly, and my cell phone alarm. So those are my basic tools, is to set myself alarms. 9 o'clock in the morning, an alarm goes off with a certain task. And it's usually written in my diary as well. But to go on from there, I would say the next thing will be, well, how do I work with my clients? How do I use reminders? And as all the agents on this platform will realize and know, that you get a mass amount of calls and a mass amount of WhatsApps daily, and you have to sort of know what to do with them. So I immediately after discussion, I put a call into a bracket on WhatsApp. You have WhatsApp business, you have labels. So I put them in that platform on labels. And then, yeah, from there, I use, again, WhatsApp as business as a tool, the quick replies. I use, because you'd find after a few months or years, you get similar type of questions, or people make an inquiry, they ask a question, and you build quick replies on those. So when you busy with a client somewhere or in between, you can quickly just add your quick reply, which helps the person on the other side, communicate with you better. And then the biggest tool that I use, and that brings me actually lots of business, lots of leads, is PropCon that we get through EXP. So the basics of PropCon, if you upload your database, you build your database on PropCon, which is very important to me too, because the people you speak to today, how do you remember them in 3 months from now, 6 months from now? So if I upload 100 contacts today, I make a note on my reminders on a calendar in PropCon to remind me in 3 months from now what I've done, and to resend communication. And all those people, their ID book addresses, ID numbers are in, so I get the birthday note. That's why every morning, 9 o'clock, alarm goes off on my phone and it says PropCon birthdays. So then I go to PropCon, I send the birthday messages. And then the nicest thing about the tool is the automation in terms of bulk emails. So I can create emails for 6 months ahead and set a time when they should go out and to whom they should go out, and they go automatically. Like sometimes I'll be sitting at a viewing or with a client, and he says, "Hey, I just got an email from you. How's that possible?" And I tell them the story, how I use that. And yeah, and then another thing that PropCon helps me with is reminders for appointments. You set it up. If you have an appointment tomorrow at 4 p.m. for a viewing, you set it up to send a reminder in the morning with an SMS to the client to confirm, and then an hour before the viewing with the address and everything. Yeah. So that's the basics of PropCon, which I use. And then the other great tool and all these tools I feel they save time. It's all about saving time. And the one thing people don't understand is also marketing or Facebook posts, and they can't be on Facebook every day posting. So if you have a Facebook business page, there's a scheduler on there. So it can take you one day to create 60 posts. You upload them on there for every day. And for the next 2 months, Facebook is posting automatically to Facebook and to Instagram without you being on Facebook or Instagram. Yeah. That is the basics, Stuart, and for you guys out there of what I use and how I use it to build my business.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that. And I've got quite a few questions and lots of notes that I've taken down. And one thing that is absolutely key that you've shared is saving yourself time. This is one of the crucial elements of using any form of CRM or automation is saving yourself time, because your time is your money. Because you're going out there, and if you're spending more time with a particular client, well, it's actually going to cost you money because you can't actually do anything else. You can only do one activity at a time. So that was something absolutely crucial. Now, one thing that you started out, and I love the way you brought into this, the basic tools. These are tools that doesn't cost you any money. These are tools that, in fact, you have with you all the time: a diary and a phone. These are two very, very simple tools that you can actually do as you're going forward. So your actual phone with the alarm clock that's coming up, I mean, that's an alarm clock that I think most phones these days, you can have multiple alarms to give you these particular reminders. But let's just dive into an old-fashioned tool, the diary. What do you use your diary for? Because we've got lots of technology that's supporting you, but where's the value in your diary? What do you put into that particular diary every day?
So I would schedule. Firstly, I'll split every page in half as I go along. So the one side of the page will be my sort of to-do list, if you do it like that, and the other side would be appointments and calls I need to make to certain people. So usually on let's say today is Tuesday, so this afternoon, anytime between 4 and 6, depending on appointments, I will make 10 minutes and plan what I didn't get to today, and build it in to next day to my to-do list. And I sort of let's say I have 10 to-dos. I try and hit 80%, 80 to 90% success rate on my to-dos, my accomplishments for a day. And I sort of force myself to have hard ones in there, difficult tasks and easy tasks, to sort of strengthen that's the momentum of keep on having things to do. But the crucial part is the day, to wake up in the morning and already have something in my diary that I have to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. And as a coach, one of the reasons why so many entrepreneurs find it stressful and hard in a particular industry is they don't plan. So you're actually using a paper diary, which is a very old-fashioned method of trying to remember everything, but actually using it as a daily planner, if I'm understanding you correctly, spending that time in the afternoon and actually going, hey, of the 10 to-do items that I wanted to do today, I'd actually accomplished 8 of them. 2 of them I didn't. Let me get that on to the next day. And then identify further activities to do in the next day. So when you wake up, you're actually waking up with less stress because you know exactly what you're going to be doing today, which is an absolute powerful way of going forward. And that's why you've actually become a successful agent, is because you're planning for the day ahead. It's a very, very simple tool that you can actually, well, when we say automate it, it's something that you're actually bringing into your system. You've actually created a habit. So it still falls into that category of automation as you're going forward. Now, to move on to the next one, and it's one that I've used personally myself, which is WhatsApp Business and using those particular labels. Now, just go a little bit deeper. You've met with a particular buyer, you've put them into your phone, you've got them there, and you've now created a label that identifies them. What do you do with that label? How does that benefit you going into the future with that particular buyer?
Well, firstly, Stuart, like I said, because you're always in a rush from here to there, and I make sure I do that immediately because the numbers get lost. And from there, I categorize them into the brackets. I sort of fill out their wish list, find out if we're working with buyers, what it is they need, and see, are they from buyer. My idea is that it must move from buyer to qualified buyer to owner, because now an owner I'm working with. So that is the goal almost. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I don't know if that does it answer the question.
Absolutely, because you're actually putting them into these categories. It's a fresh buyer, so you can create labels. Hey, met for the first time, so it's basically a person that you've just met, someone that's been qualified into a certain category of properties, and then moving through to that process where, hey, they're actually now becoming a seller, so you can actually move them across each one of them. And what's so great about the WhatsApp labels, it's as simple as just ticking on the label, and then it gives these little color codes, and you can actually create different colors for each of them. So very powerful, powerful tool. You also mentioned that you used another tool that I think I've got more quick replies in my phone than anybody that you're going to know, because I've got these quick replies for everything. Give me an idea, a standard quick reply. Someone has sent you a particular message. How do you use a quick reply to save yourself time?
Well, when sending messages for the first time, asking people to opt into a message via Poppy, I have a quick reply because most people say, where did you get my number? So I have a standard reply that says, thank you for coming back to me. Please note that I'm a real estate agent. I can only contact you once, and we work with a service, Lightstone and Virtual Agent. We are connected to the deeds office. If I have harassed or if I have caused any inconvenience, I will opt you out on your behalf. But if you would like to opt out, please see in my message above, there is an opt-out option. That's one of them I use a lot. And the other one I use is for agent attraction, like we call it. If people want to ask more about the business, I have a quick reply that says, are you an agent? If not, here's what you have to do to become a real estate agent. If you are an agent and a self-starter, see here some more info. Yeah, that's the basics of it.
Perfect. One thing that's absolutely brilliant about these quick replies, and just as you shared these two examples, it actually got me thinking, back when I was replying to agents or replying to buyers, sellers, etc., it's not having to think, not having to sit there to type a message with spelling errors and all of that. It's preset with you. You just put in a / select the one, and away you go, sending out those particular quick replies. So there's two tools that are so, so powerful for communication with your particular clients. And what's great about it, it's on your phone. It's WhatsApp. So make sure that you get in the WhatsApp business and using those two, labels and quick replies. That is absolutely amazing that you can actually go through. Now, I want to actually start to come into you're using a CRM platform that is really giving you a lot of strength and benefit. It's helping you with reminders, setting up appointments, setting up the bulk emails, having all of that in place so that it just runs autonomously. Now, if we had to remove that CRM package from your business and you had to do everything manually, how would your typical day look like?
No, I wouldn't be able to explain. I'll have to hire somebody. I'd really have to hire an assistant to do that.
I love that response, because straight away I actually read your body language of, really, are you telling me that I've got to get rid of it? That's something that's definitely not going to happen. So you've actually got that CRM package that has your database, has all of your clients, has their birthdays so that you don't have to remember it. You've got the email addresses so that you can put on those email campaigns, and it just automatically drip feeds it all. Now, I know with every CRM package out there, it's not as simple as one click, bang, everything's there. You still have to do a little bit of work behind it. Work like uploading your database. Work like, well, I would like to send out birthday messages. I would like to actually have an additional email campaign that goes out that tells our particular sellers, if they're in that category, home improvements, or seasonal tips. When you look at the CRM package that you're using, how much time do you now spend in a week setting it up or just managing it to make sure that it's always accurate with data?
No, Stephen, yeah, I spend at least an half an hour to an hour a day, just going through updating, usually updating with new contacts, and I use that time to just make sure everything is up and running. It's really very easy. It doesn't take some weeks, sometimes a week goes by that I've done nothing on it, but usually I spend an hour a day on it. Yeah,
Perfect. So
but
it's
it
an hour a
does.
day.
Yeah, if I can just to our viewers, just it might seem like that's a lot of time, but if I can give you an example, I wish I could have shown it on my screen. After the lists, about 4 of my listings at the moment have come from clients that I've been speaking to since 2022. And they've had every 3 months a WhatsApp, one email a month, the whole shebang. And then on their birthday, happy birthday, and 2 days later, thanks for your message. I think I want to sell my property. So that is the reason why I spent the time on it.
Absolutely. Well, one thing with any form of CRM or any form of database, if you're not managing, if you're not working at an ongoing basis, it actually starts to become stale. You'll
Yeah.
find contact numbers change. You'll find email addresses change, and you will find that details change. A seller suddenly becomes a buyer, and a buyer becomes a seller. So if you're not making that ongoing communication with them, you're going to lose touch, and then it just becomes stale and dead. So having it every single day and having a time allocation is so important. Now, if we look at that time allocation, is this something that you do early in the morning, lunchtime, in the evenings? What typically time of the day do you allocate to focus on your CRM?
Well, it's early in the morning. It's usually what I do, I'd look at finding 20 new contacts, and they are for my calls in the afternoon. So, and those contacts I already upload to the system so that I know that after I've made the calls, I can just follow up with a WhatsApp, a bulk message saying thanks for the chat earlier, and yeah, then take it from there. And then I start the process with them as all of my other contacts.
Perfect. And from there, it's all automated. And that's one of the crucial things of anything that you actually set up is the ease to save yourself time. So you've got this automation that actually goes through. Now, the last point that you actually raised is a very important point, which falls into the category of marketing. And most people don't really realize that marketing requires automation in order for it to become successful. Else, what happens if you spend each day trying to post onto Facebook or any of the social media platforms, you could spend probably 45 minutes to an hour to create the graphic, get the wording from it, to actually put something out there. That is costing you more time. Now, you alluded to the fact that the Facebook business has the scheduling option, another option that I use so often. Now, you mentioned that you spend literally a little bit of time to create as many posts as possible. So what tools are you using to create these particular posts that you can then step over to the next one, which is then putting it onto the social media? So what tool do you currently use?
Well, strangely enough, I was busy this morning with my next series of posts. I use ChatGPT to just start it growing. I ask it to create 30 posts for me, 10 of these, 10 of these, 10 of these, and then I ask it to just ask me a few questions so that it has an idea, and then it shoots out the posts. From there, I also ask that it gives me sort of image ideas, and then I go over to Canva with those, and then I have a set template that I've created in Canva, and you can basically just duplicate that, choose a different design or picture for your background, and then just copy paste from your ChatGPT information in, and then it really takes 5 minutes. if you've got the flow. The thing is about all these tools is you have to spend time with them, because you have to know them and how to work with them quickly. And then from there, it's really fast.
Brilliant. So that process, starting with ChatGPT, which, if you think about it, is just another human being with lots of information and lots of knowledge. And really, one of the key characteristics of ChatGPT or any AI model is to ask it relevant questions. And then it will actually give you some form of answers, or get it to ask you questions that understands the clarity of what you're wanting. So you're going out there and saying, hey, give me 30 posts in these 3 different categories, 10 posts each. Ask me 2 or 3 questions to just get a high level clarity on what you want. And then it gives you all these particular ideas, including, which is, give me some image ideas, which is always where we go down that particular rabbit hole. And then taking that information and going into Canva. Now, what's great about Canva is we have an enterprise license. So you've actually got all the branding that's actually been compliance, been brought through, and you can actually use the features of Canva to go and create. Now, once you've created all these particular images, how easy is it for you to get these images into your Facebook business scheduler? Is that something that's quite technical, or is it something that just click, click, paste?
Yeah, no, it's very easy. It basically, the Facebook, it's just like another calendar. You click. If the thing is about being systematic. So on my laptop, I have lots of folders, and everything is from, moving from evaluation to a seller, moving, and the same with my post ideas. I've got everything in a folder, and from there it's just day 1, day 2, day 3, throw it in schedule, throw it in schedule.
Perfect. So everything that you're actually doing isn't complicated. It's something that anybody can actually do. Did you do a high level qualification to understand this process of how to use ChatGPT, how to use Canva, and how to use Facebook Business? And if you did, tell us this high level qualification that really helped you to understand this.
No, I'm an uncertified user.
I love that. Uncertified user, which basically means anybody can do it.
Yeah.
All right. So here's that simple process of tools that we've been speaking about. Starting from basic tools, using we call it a diary, but it's actually a planner, a daily planner, something that you can write down, to-dos, you can write down your actual appointments for each day, and then spending that time in the afternoon to plan for the next day, making sure that when you wake up in the morning, you know what to do. It really helps you to start going forward. Then it's actually looking at, using that one tool, which is that communication tool, WhatsApp Business. And one area that I want to really highlight on this is the powerful tools, and they're for free, that comes with it. Doing those labels so that you can identify buyers, sellers, and where they are in this particular process, as well as those quick replies, something that I've used so too often. And as I mentioned, I've probably got more quick replies than anybody has sent messages out. And then going into a CRM package, really that central database that has all your clients' details, automation of campaigns so that you're keeping in touch with them on an ongoing basis. As Eugene mentioned, he's got clients, he's dealing with 4 listings that came to him from clients that he dealt with back in 2022. We're in 2025, that's 3 years ago. So that ongoing communication with them has helped to build the relationships, as well as putting in those reminders for the appointments. We know that when we go out to appointments, one of the biggest things that we have almost a frustration with is when we arrive at appointments and your buyer or seller has forgotten about that appointment. So it's very important to make sure that you go through that process. And then finally, it's automating that marketing process, starting with ChatGPT, where you're asking those questions. Give me 30 post ideas, break it down into some categories, moving that into Canva so that you get those wonderful images with all those descriptions that you can then post into Facebook in that particular planner. A very straightforward and simple process. However, and this is a big however, all of this helps to keep you productive, because ultimately what it's doing is it's saving you time. And as I asked Eugene, If he didn't have any of these tools, if he had to do all of this manually, how would his day look? And his response, his body language, you can rewind and go back. It was almost like, hey, Stuart, no way. I would have to employ somebody to do that because I would not get to that high level of productivity. So, Eugene, just to summarize all of this, the success that you're having with this process, from the basic tools to WhatsApp through to the more advanced CRMs and marketing, how has this impacted your relationships with your clients that you currently, and obviously future clients that you potentially have?
Well, I think, Stuart, it really helps to build rapport. It helps to, especially the birthday messages, is when you make it personal. People really like that. When you remember you've sold them a house 2 years ago and you send them an anniversary a message, they really like that, and they offer to want to give you business. It's really helped me to build those relationships and build a vast network of people in my database. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I want to jump into some, and Eugene, thank you so much for sharing your experience, your wisdom to get you to the point of where you are at the moment. I want to jump into a few questions. And one of the questions that comes out, you're using a CRM package, you're sending messages through to a particular client, but they never respond back to you. And we always have that. We send messages out to clients, they don't come back to us. Do you still continue the next year sending them messages, even though they've never responded? Do you send them birthday wishes, keep them on those campaigns? Do you keep them on? Or do you go, hey, 12 months, they haven't responded, let me delete them? What is your plan of action around those type of clients?
Yes, no, definitely. I would. The thing is, back in the day, before we had all these things, agents used to do leaflets. They still do. They do calendars and do, all sort of funny stuff, and have people stick it on their refrigerator. The problem is most of those clients never phoned back, but some of them did. And to me, that's the same as an unanswered WhatsApp. Because out of those, I sold a house without listing it, and the lady called me and she said, the first time she ever spoken to me, she never responded, never did nothing. After 2 or 3 years, she said, thank you so much for your continuous messaging and birthday messages. I really respect what you're doing. Would you please sell my house? So yeah, I'll keep them.
Absolutely, absolutely. One thing that you must remember, people are busy. People might miss a particular message, but it's continuing that report. It's continuing those conversations. It's actually drip feeding them relevant information. That is what's so, so important through this process. It must be relevant information, because if you start just sending out spammed information, nobody likes spam and ham. It's something that we actually detest. You need to make sure that it's all relevant information, because people will look at it, they read it, and they'll go, that's great. It remains top of mind as you're going through the process. So this is a big technique that must never stop. So I'm glad that you say you continue on those communications as you're going through. Right, so I want to open up and find out if anybody has any questions that they would like to unmute themselves. You're more than welcome to. Just pop up your little hand in the actual screen itself, and we can open up the floor for any questions that anybody has. You can also continue to put them into the chat box, and I can then just reread them back. And go for it. You've got your hand up first.
Hi, Stuart. Hi, Eugene. Thank you so much for today. Okay, I am on WhatsApp Business, and I wanted to just ask about the automated answers. How do you set it up to so say if somebody's doing an inquiry, how does WhatsApp choose the message that it's going to automatically send back to them? So like Stuart, you said you have a whole lot of different messages as well. Does it obviously give you the option, or because I've never tried that?
All right, so let me answer that one there, because this isn't within WhatsApp Business itself. WhatsApp Business has quick replies The only
Oh, okay.
automated is an out of office automated message. But what you can use is there's a lot of automated apps that actually will then bolt onto your WhatsApp. And then if somebody sends you a specific code or a word, it will then say, hey, that word is related to a certain selection, and then send
Okay.
that straight back to you. All right. And
Okay,
Eugene, have
great.
you used any form of automation in that respect?
No, you know, I've had the automation, the out of office, or I'm busy. I don't. It's too unpersonal for me. So on the lady's question, the thing is, you can still have a quick reply for the listing inquiry. It's just something it's saving you time in saying thank you for your inquiry by just clicking the backslash and the message goes. So yeah, no.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
No, perfect. Great question. And so it's using, well, from Eugene's point of view, he's using it more from a personalized response where you've actually got the bulk of the message already typed out, saving you all that time. Right. Find out from any other questions. Yes, it is recorded, as you can see in the top left-hand corner. I will cut that little part out of it. All right, just reading it. Can you summarize Eugene's strategy? So the best thing is, just on the back of Hunter's question, is the session is recorded, so you will be able to find it in Trackstar. Just go into Trackstar. It normally takes me about 24 to 48 hours to get it processed, uploaded. Go into agent-led trainings, and you'll actually see this particular session will appear there. So you'll be able to find, and it's easier to re-watch it, else if we just go through all those particular strategies in a very short summary, you could miss out some of the crucial little tidbits that was actually shared in this session. Right. Eugene, from your side, any final thoughts, comments before we close up?
Yes, yeah, I'd just like to say to everybody that's been on, and I'm sure everybody is part of the EXP team, that just make sure you know all the tools that is available to you and start getting to use them. Most tools, even WhatsApp, PropCon, everything, they do have training videos that do show you how to use them. But yeah, anybody's welcome to reach out to me at any time. If you want to chat, if you want to know how to do something, I'm more than happy to help.
Absolutely perfect. Eugene, again, I want to thank you so much for your time and coming on to this particular session. It's always great to spend time with our elites when we start going through these particular mastermind sessions. So Elite Mastermind, remember these sessions, they're happening on a regular basis. I have different guests coming on with different topics to help each and every one of you grow your business. The biggest purpose of this is to know how. And this actually opens up, hey, wow, that was a great idea. And that's the purpose of these particular sessions. From me, Stuart, I want to wish you all a fantastic day further. And remember, always stay productive.